I want to talk to you about something that quietly ruins your trading accounts more than a bad entry ever will, and it's how you think about your losses. Because here's the truth: if you already know how to trade, then there are really only two type of losses that you can ever take. That's it, just two. And if you don't separate them, you'll keep blowing accounts even though your strategy works. So the first loss is simple, but you must understand this first loss to understand the second one. This first loss is a structural loss. You have a valid setup, you sized your risk management properly, you have the correct lot size, you have the correct risk management on your contracts, you followed your rules, and then something stronger than your setup hit the market. This can be politics, tariff news, economic data, or a report that was rescheduled. There's some headline that you didn't even know was coming, and your trade gets invalidated. The setup you were going to take that you were in is no longer working in your favor. And it's not because you were wrong, not because your system failed, but because the trade was based on market structure. And politics are simply a stronger force than market structure. Politics is made out of market movers. Tariffs are a stronger force. News is a stronger force. So you lose out on the trade. The trade literally dies. So if you've had trades that hurt and some of them don't hurt, these are the losses that don't hurt that much. They roll off your back. You're kind of annoyed. You're like, I could have capitalized off of this. It was a perfect setup. What happened? But emotionally, you're fine. And you can swear up and down that you did everything right. So you just move on. That is loss type 1. Here's the second type of loss. It is completely different, and it is the one that destroys accounts. It is the psychological loss. This is when you over risk. This is when you chase a trade, chase a candlestick, or maybe even know about news and you chase that news. This is when you jump into a trade that you were not supposed to be taking, and this is when you can't hold a trade that you could have held, and you exited in a drawdown when it was just a small retest or it was coming back into your favor. Because emotionally, you're not operating as the trader you're supposed to be. So you get out of the trade early, or you revenge trade, or you double or triple your whole entire size of that trade, or you try to make it back immediately, or if it was at the end of a trading day, you try to make it back that next day. So now you're no longer trading your system, you're trading your emotions. I want you to clearly know that these two type of trades are not the same thing. They do not feel the same. They do not come from the same place. They do not require the same solution. And this is where almost everyone messes up. And really the reason most traders give up within their first year. Because most traders only have one solution for losses. Just move on. Let it roll off your back. Just take the next trade. And that works for the first type of loss, the structural loss, where there is nothing to fix, where you can let it roll off your back, where it's literally taking a clean loss. So yes, you just move on. There's literally nothing you can do. But when you take a psychological loss and you try to treat it the same way, that is where everything is going to collapse and your account is destined to blow up. Because your psychological loss is not just about a money loss, it's about an identity loss. It's you becoming a person or a version of yourself that you're not supposed to be. You're trying to prove to yourself, it's you trying to prove yourself under pressure. You don't trust your rules, you don't respect your risk. The rules that you literally made for you, you're not even following them. You definitely don't respect them, and you're not trying to protect your account. So now you're carrying a few things. You're carrying shame, frustration, and fear, and a lot of anger. And then you tell yourself, it's fine. I'm just going to let it roll off my back. No, that does not work here. It doesn't work for the second type of loss. And this is the part that nobody wants to hear. The loss that blows your account is almost never the real cause. It was just the straw that broke the camel's back. It was all the other pieces of straw that stacked up, which in this case, blown accounts come from stacking containment failures. one loss, and then you have a emotional carryover, and then you have a bad trade, and then you have another bad trade, and then you have a bigger loss, and then you have a tilt moment, and then you have a spiral. It's a sequence of events. It's not just one moment. It's not just the, oh my gosh, my account blew today, what happened? No. That was just the straw that broke the camel's back, and you finally got charged market tuition for all the other straw. But here's the anchoring idea for this entire video. You will get your money back. There is no billboard in the world that says, when I lose money, I cannot make it back. I'm permanently banned from making it back. That doesn't exist. Like, that rule, that billboard doesn't, it's never gonna exist. The market resets every single day. It's always balancing back out. And your edge does not disappear because of one loss. Your strategy does not stop working because of one bad trade. The only thing that changes is who you become after the loss. And this is where traders lose their mind, because emotionally it feels like that money is gone forever. It feels so urgent, and it feels so threatening, and it feels like something has to be done right now. If I don't get this money back, you just go off on a tangent, and so you're trying to brute force your way back to green, trying to brute force your way back to break even, and that's never going to work. Revenge trading only has two outcomes. Either you're gonna win the money back now and lose it immediately after, or you're going to lose more now and lose more later. There's no third outcome. Either you're gonna make the money and lose it, or lose and lose more. There's no version where revenge trading fixes your psychology, period. It's structurally impossible. And if you have been green after a revenge trade, how long did it take you to lose that money? You probably lost it immediately after. It's like trying to rob a bank because you don't have any money, or you're tight on cash. You might get that money, but what is the cost? Prison. Your life is ruined. Your future is literally destroyed in one decision. But it wasn't just you walking into that bank. It was all the small decisions of you being stressed out over money that led you to want to go do this huge act of unalignment, and that's how you ended up where you are. So was it worth it? No. But that's what brute forcing does in trading. Brute forcing is just force. You might get your money back, but you destroy your identity as a disciplined trader in the process. And that identity loss is what kills your account later, because you're no longer a disciplined trader. You don't see yourself as that anymore. You don't respect anything anymore. And here's the real truth. You don't get your money back by trying to get your money back. You get your money back by becoming and staying the trader who doesn't need it back. That's the whole game. Because when you can take a clean structural loss and you come in calm the next day, all you do is trade normal. You follow your rules, and your account is going to recover. The next day, it could go up another 6,000%, but you're going to miss it because you're not a disciplined trader. Your account is going to recover naturally and quietly without all the drama and revenge trading and all the extra emotion, the excessive psychological damage. But when you take a psychological loss, you wake up the next day as the wrong version of yourself. You're rushed, you're desperate, you're trying to fix something. So again, even if your next setup is literally perfect and there's 6,000% there waiting for you to go captured in the market, you're still gonna mess it up because you're not trading as the person you're supposed to be. You're not even neutral. Neutrality is the actual edge, not your entry, not your indicators, not your strategy, not because you trade trend lines. Come on now. It doesn't matter how complex, how cute, how pretty your strategy is. Your ability to stay neutral after a loss is the real edge. And here's another thing that no one talks about. You're not losing money because you're bad at trading. You already know how to trade. You're losing money because you don't know how to contain yourself after you learn how to trade. That's the part that is kind of missing. There's a whole bunch of people that learn how to trade, and then there's a whole bunch of people that blow accounts. But there is a middle. That's what my channel is. Like, all that stuff in the middle that no one talks about, that's it, right? And you don't know how to contain yourself after a loss, and that sounds very harsh. I say these things to myself too, which is how I'm able to make this content. But it's actually really great news, because that means that your problem is not a technical problem. It's not a strategy problem. It's just behavioral. And that means it's fixable. We don't have to go back and look at the charts and bar replay and do all the things and fix support resistance. We don't have to do all that. We don't have to touch supply and demand, because you already know how to trade. So if you already know how to trade, there are only two reasons you lose. Either something stronger than your setup hit the market, or you became the wrong version of yourself. That's it. There is no third version. So here's the part that's going to change everything. Those two losses require opposite responses. When there is a structural loss, you do nothing. You don't want to do anything. You just move on, close the laptop, close the iPad, close the MacBook, close the HP, close the Dell, shut down TradingView, and mind your business. You do not overthink it. And you don't have to try to figure out what type of loss you took. You'll know. If you don't overthink it, it was probably structural. If it's a psychological loss, this is how you fix it. You don't trade more. You don't just move on. You don't just size back up. You don't just do what you used to do. You actually have to recalibrate yourself back to neutral, because if you don't, you're guaranteed to stack losses. Guaranteed. And this is what I mean by containment failure, because it's not that you don't know how to trade. It's that you don't know how to stop being the wrong version of yourself once you've taken a hit, once you take a loss. Every loss is not equal, but this is why people blow accounts, even with profitable strategies. It's probably not your strategy. It's probably not your indicator or your entry. It's probably because you never fixed a containment problem. So if you've ever looked at a blown account and you thought, how did I get here? I already know how to trade. How did I get here? The answer is probably always the same. It's not one bad trade. It was one uncontained emotional loss that became the straw that broke the camel's back. And the camel is your account. It is that one uncontained loss that turns you into the wrong trader for just enough time for your account to blow up. And if you're not aware of this, you're never going to change yourself back into the trader you need to be. So it doesn't matter. You're just going to keep being that wrong version, and eventually it'll blow up. That's the whole story. Ta-da, that's it. So here's what I want you to take from this. You will get your money back. Not today, not tomorrow, but you will recover your account. It is not impossible. There is no billboard. There is no federal law saying if you're a day trader, you can't go back and make your money. You cannot, well, PDT, but let's just say, right? But you will make your money back if you stop trying to make it back. And if you want help building that containment system, not motivation, not just more awareness tools, not just affirmations and discipline hype, like an actual structure, I have pinned a playlist for my YouTube channel. I pinned that playlist in the comment section. And I want you to walk through that playlist. It is only 3 videos of things you can start doing immediately to neutralize emotional carryover and stop trading as the wrong version of yourself. And honestly, even if you don't click on that playlist, I want you to just remember this one line, that there are only 2 losses. There's only 2 types of losses, and only one of them can change your behavior, and only one of them should change your behavior. That awareness alone will save you more money than any new strategy ever will.